The natural scale consists of the notes A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. It's called the natural scale because it consists of all the natural notes and no accidentals, meaning no sharp or flat notes. Scales are the key to writing music. The notes of a scale complement each other and can be used together to create melodies, harmonies, and chords, giving you a solid foundation to build or write your own songs, as well as learn your favorite pieces from other musicians. Here I'll be playing a Gibson ES-335 electric guitar. As in most cases, this lesson can be applied to both acoustic and electric instruments. I'm playing through a Blues Custom 30 amplifier by Epiphone with a clean blues setting. The two most common types of scales are the major and minor scales. A major scale has what some would describe as a bright or happy sound. A minor scale has what some might describe as a mellow, soft, or sad sound. Rather than learning major and minor scales separate, TSTA gives you a jump start by teaching you one scale that encompasses both, the natural scale. Scales have what we call key centers or root notes. To determine whether or not a scale is major or minor, in this case would depend on the root note. The root note is the main note of a song, or in this case, a scale. For example, when using the notes of the natural scale, if our root note is a C note, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, our scale is major. If our root note is an A note, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, our scale is minor. Both the C major and A minor scales share the same notes. This is also known as a relative minor scale. So in the key of C, A is the relative minor. Pay close attention to major and minor root notes. Knowing their locations will give you the ability to write or play a song in any major or minor key. This will also allow you to change keys in the middle of any song. There are 7 notes in the natural scale. In C major, there is C, D, E, F, G, A, and B. Therefore, we have 7 scale positions. Each position starts with a different scale note. The beauty of these 7 positions is that they are universal for every key of music. So later on, when we start learning key changes, you will already know the finger patterns. Since E is the lowest possible note on a standard guitar, we're going to begin our scale positions with the low E note. E is the 3rd note in the C major scale. So the E position is also known as the 3rd position. Let's begin with a step-by-step approach to playing our scale. What we want to accomplish here is proper fingering and picking technique. First, we'll slowly go through the scale, making sure to use the correct fingers. Then we'll practice it at 2 different speeds. Starting with the notes on the first measure, the 6-string notes. The E note is played with a downstroke of the pick on the open 6th string. The F note is played with an upstroke of the pick while holding the 1st fret using your 1st finger. Then the G note is played with a downstroke of the pick while holding the 3rd fret using your 3rd finger. Then starting on the 2nd measure, the 5th string notes, play the open A with an upstroke. Play B with a downstroke, 2nd fret, 2nd finger. Play C with an upstroke, 3rd fret, 3rd finger. Allow each note to ring out until the next note is played. For example, on the 6th string, when you're playing the F on the 1st fret, hold that note with your 1st finger until you've played the 3rd fret, then lift the 1st finger from the 1st fret. This will ensure a smooth transition between notes. We left off on the 3rd measure, the 4th string notes. Play the D with a downstroke for the open note. Play the E with an upstroke, 2nd finger, 2nd fret. And F with a downstroke, 3rd finger, 3rd fret. The 4th measure, 3rd string notes. Pick G with an upstroke on the open 3rd string. A is a downstroke, 2nd fret, 2nd finger. B is an upstroke, 4th fret, 4th finger. The 2nd and 1st string notes use the stretch finger patterns we learned at the end of section 2. 5th measure, 2nd string notes. C is a downstroke, 1st fret, 1st finger. D is an upstroke, 3rd fret, 2nd finger. E is a downstroke, 5th fret, 4th finger. 6th measure, 1st string notes. F, upstroke, 1st fret, 1st finger. G, downstroke, 3rd fret, 2nd finger. A, upstroke, 5th fret, 4th finger. Remember to keep the thumb of your playing hand directly behind your middle finger in the center of the neck. For the scale position we just learned, your thumb should be behind the 2nd fret for the 6th, 5th, 4th, and 3rd strings. Then slide it up behind the 3rd fret for the 2nd and 1st string. Now that we have dissected this position and learned the correct picking and fingering, let's play along with the tempo. For the beginners, we'll start out slow, setting the boss metronome at 40 beats per minute, then we'll speed it up a bit. We're playing 3 beats per measure. The count is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. We are also going to learn the scale pattern descending. It's the same fingering, but everything is played in reverse. Here's the scale at 80 beats per measure. If that was too slow for you, don't worry, we'll be playing it a lot faster before the next section of this video. Here's a tip for beginners. An entire piece of sheet music could sometimes look menacing. Break it down into small sections that you could handle. For example, focus on the first measure. Play it, then play it again. In fact, loop it over and over until it becomes smooth. Now learn the second measure by itself. When it becomes comfortable, combine the two measures. Keep adding measure by measure, and pretty soon you'll be playing entire musical pieces in one sitting. F is the 4th note in the C major scale, so it is also called the 4th position C major scale. Use fingers 1, 2, and 4 for the 6th, 5th, and 4th strings. Use fingers 1, 3, and 4 for the 3rd and 2nd string, and back to fingers 1, 2, and 4 for the 1st. For the F position, your thumb should be behind the 3rd fret for the top 4 strings, then slide it up behind the 5th fret for the 2nd and 1st string. Remember, allow each note to ring out until the next one is played, and always use alternates. We'll play this slow, then speed up, starting at 60 beats per minute or 60 BPM. And descending. And for more advanced players, here it is at 120 BPM. Play along with a metronome like the Boss DB30. Start at a slow pace, and when you can repeat a section a few times without error, increase the tempo 3 to 5 notches. If you can still play it comfortably at that pace, increase the tempo more. Do this until you reach your breaking point and make a note of the tempo. If your top speed is 100 beats per minute, try 105 the next day, then 110 the day after. Keep doing this and you'll be playing lightning fast in no time. Use your first, second, and fourth fingers for the top 5 strings and your first, third, and fourth fingers for the first string. Place your thumb behind the 5th fret for the top 4 strings and then slide it up behind the 6th fret for the second and first strings. 70 BPM for a slow run. And reverse. .140 BPM for advanced players. Use fingers 1, 3, and 4 for the 6th and 5th strings, and fingers 1, 2, and 4 for the remaining 4 strings. And allow each note to ring out until the next one is played. Place your thumb behind the 6th and 7th fret for the top 4 strings, and then slide it up behind the 8th fret for the second and first strings. Here's this position at 80 BPM. And at 160 BPM. Fingers 1, 2, and 4 for the 6th and 5th string notes. Fingers 1, 3, and 4 for the 4th and 3rd string. And fingers 1, stretch 2, and 4 for the 2nd and 1st string. Keep your thumb behind the 8th fret for the top 4 strings and the 10th fret for the 2nd and 1st strings. Here's the scale at 90 BPM. .180. Fingers 1, 2, and 4 for the top 4 strings, and 1, 3, and 4 for the rest. Keep your thumb behind the 10th fret for the top 4 strings, 12th fret for the 2nd and 1st strings. 100 BPM. .200 BPM. Use fingers 1, 3, and 4 for the 6th string, fingers 1, 2, and 4 for the rest. Keep your thumb behind the 11th or 12th fret for the top 4 strings, and then slide it up behind the 13th fret for the rest, at 100 BPM. BPM. Here's the E or third position again. This is the octave of the open position. Notice that the notes in this position are patterned identically to the notes of the open position. It's the same position played 1 octave or 12 notes or frets higher. This can be applied to every position. F starting with the 13th fret, G starting with the 15th fret, A with the 17th, B with the 19th, and so on. Here's the new E position played at 100 BPM. And again at 200 BPM. If you're interested in memorizing these scale positions or learning to play them faster, then this bonus section is for you. We're going to ascend up the neck, increasing the speed as we change positions, and then descend down the neck. We'll start at 100 beats per minute and get up to 250 beats per minute. Let's go. We're using a Gibson Les Paul Custom electric guitar. The Blues Custom 30 amplifier is set at a heavy blues tone called Texas Heat.